Just sitting here thinking about time restraints and how everything has a time. Yeah, you can look up lunch, and there's some sort of regulation for lunch that says lunch could be contained to 20 minutes or something like that, or they give you half an hour at work. I don't know where the 10 minutes is played. Not a problem with it. I'm just saying, why the government will come up with a 20-minute when everybody else is on a half an hour. And then there's restraints on different things like people saying something about how a certain establishment makes a rule and only the masses are, if the one person is in power, say a judgment, say a judge passes judgment, and the whole argument isn't played out because the physicalities, like as in law, physicalities are the only thing that matters. It's not the build up. It's like someone saying, or someone arguing with somebody, and the person is really laid back, but this person is just in their face arguing and moaning, and not moaning, but just arguing in their face, just yelling in their face, and this other person does something, pushes them, and that person that was yelling, maybe for, say, that person was yelling at another person for 10 minutes, just for an example. And for being yelled at 10 minutes, and the person was like saying, hey, excuse me, or whatever, say, hey, quit yelling at me, this, and the person said, didn't say anything. They just kept right on yelling. They wouldn't get out of the face. They wouldn't shut up. So a person pushes them. Then the person yelling calls assault. Well, apparently in the prison systems, from what I've seen on things, if one person antagonizes another, they're just as guilty as a person who pushed or hit or whatever. I mean, of course, everything escalates, but there are points where there's a line crossed. I don't even know what I was going to say, but oh, and time. Like lunch, if you take a lunch or you take a earned judgment, just basically the problem with this country is it's what I was thinking. It was like a chopping block country. Everything is like, if you like in Europe can go to lunch and it's a wavering time length. I think what I've seen, kind of like siestas in Spain. They take whatever time off for lunch, and then you leisurely come back. It's because it's the heat of the day and nobody works and that wants to work in the heat of the day, so they come back. It might be a pre-designated time, but still there's some sort of a waving line there that is created where people aren't pressured into an anxiety. And I was thinking how all these other countries have these wavering lines, that allowments or whatever it is, but you come to the states, man, you miss lunch by 1 minute, and there's somebody hounding you for being off a time clock or something like that. I was just thinking how strict the laws are here, and just creating a freaking anxiety just for time. It's just you couldn't work 1 minute later. It's just crazy stuff. Why we're such a strict and called leisure. It's like just a word mongering. Everything is like that. It's just, they're strict here, and then they try to leisure it off with words. Like saying, "Oh no, it's a great country. We have great this ethic," and it's not ethic. They're creating an anxiety. I don't know. I don't know what got me thinking about this, but I just thought I'd say something.